What's poppin', Westchester?
And introduce yourself.
Okay. When do I do that?
Whenever he says it.
Okay.
We are rolling whenever you're ready.
So I'm just going to go, what's poppin', Westchester? This is Jamie. I'm with UBX. I'm one of the owners here.
Yeah, you should say your full name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then
Should I do it again?
we're rolling, right?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay, good.
You guys hear
You want me to look at the
I
camera?
can now, yeah.
You want me to look at the camera?
No, just look at me.
Okay, look
Yeah.
at you.
Yeah.
What's poppin', Westchester? This is Jamie Baum. I'm one of the owners with UBX in Larchmont, and soon to be another location shortly coming.
So the tables are turned, my friend.
The tables have turned. I'm now with Coach John.
I like that. So the reason you're here, obviously, is to talk about UBX a little bit. So I've been going to UBX for, what did we say, 13 months?
Yeah, it's just about on 13 months now, yeah.
13 months. So that means 14 months we've been talking, because for the first month I was playing hard to get. But for those who don't know what UBX is, tell them before we kind of get into the whole thing.
So we're actually the fastest growing boxing gym in the world. We're in almost every continent now. We have 70 plus locations worldwide, and soon to have 2 in the US, with the first one being UBX Larchmont, the one that you go to.
Yep.
And soon there's going to be one in Greenwich, Connecticut. And with what we're doing in UBX is we're bringing the best of one-on-one in a group setting. So it's almost like this semi-private mix. And I love the fact that people can come to us without needing to have a schedule. You can't be late for fitness anymore. There's no group classes. You got to get in at 6:30 or 7:30 or 8, whatever it is. Like, that doesn't exist anymore. Fitness now fits into your schedule versus the other way around. It's 25% boxing, it's 75% strength training, and we're here to get people results, man.
Yeah, so I will say the reason that you guys hooked me was that schedule.
Love that.
Because, and we'll get into results in a minute, because I have had results, and I want to talk about the results and how I got there with your help and everything. So I was with a trainer, loved my trainer, but I never saw my trainer. And the reason I never saw my trainer is because there was traffic in Mamaroneck all the time.
Really?
And I would be late for my appointments all the time, which means that a half-hour session turned into a 20-minute session, or a 45-minute session turned into a half hour,
Right.
or I missed a session. And what I loved about you guys, which I think I reached out on Instagram originally, was, well, crap, I'm not going to miss it because getting all emotional. I'm not going to miss it because, what is it, 5 to 10 in the morning?
It's 5 to 10, as long as you're before
5 to 10. If it's before 10, or 4 to 8, right, at night, well, man, I got a 4-hour window. Even if I'm late, I'm early. Even if I'm late, I'm on time.
That's right.
So that was the appeal to me. And I was intrigued by boxing. And obviously, like, I think that some people might be like, oh, I don't want to go to a boxing gym, but you guys are in a boxing gym. So the thing that appealed to me was, oh, it's some boxing?
Yeah, exactly.
So the whole process in my head, and that's what I was talking about, the month of playing hard to get, was just trying to wrap my brain around it. And also the commitment, you know? It's not just a commitment in terms of time, it's a financial commitment.
Yep.
And it's also just like, you know, you get in these old habits of just like not working out, or working out like I had a assault bike at home. And that's really all I did. I got into a habit during COVID of just doing that. That's all I did. And I was really using an assault bike like a stationary bike.
Okay.
Because I was just so used to just sitting on my ass all day that I wasn't even putting much effort into the assault bike. So I was like watching TV with the assault bike, and I'm like, that's not how it's supposed to work. I should be going to the gym more. So anyway, So when you guys opened, even though I was playing hard to get, and I went for the tryout, and I was like, that was cool and exhausting and crazy, and I don't know if I have the stamina for that, and definitely don't have the form for that, and I'm gonna probably like hurt myself. Yeah, ultimately, I think it's a credit to you guys and who you have working there that I joined. Talk to me a little bit about staffing and your background, because also you have to have the right people. Like, it's cool to have a good model, which you guys do, but like getting the right people is also important.
John, one of the things I would say is most important is actually the people. Anyone can build 4 walls. Anyone can put the decals on the wall. They can have the same black and white painting. They can get the same equipment, but it's really the people that make the difference. And I've been in fitness going on 2 decades, worked almost every position from the intern / custodian all the way up to executive management. And every single time I'm in a place that's succeeding, it's because of the team that you have beneath you. So staffing was super important to us when we first started opening up Larchmont. 2 reasons. One, brand new concept and brand coming to the United States. So we have to make sure that we're doing it justice. And then the second thing is we really wanted to make sure that we're bringing in people that actually care. Because usually in fitness, you have 2 sides of a coin. You have the person, they love being a trainer. They're super sciencey. They want everything exactly one way. Nothing necessarily wrong with that. Sometimes a little bit of paralysis by analysis, right? But you got that side of the coin. Then you have the other side of the coin. They're super green, super motivating, and they just really want to help people. And so our focus was, okay, let's get people that have the will. Let's get people that have the want and the love behind them to take care of the folks. And then we will train them on all the skills that we need to. Mm-hmm. And when we looked for the first group of people, of course, they needed some boxing background. But our head coach, Julian, at the time, he's had over a decade of boxing experience. Cheetah, same thing, over a decade of martial arts and boxing experience. But these were guys that were also nationally accredited trainers, So then all we had to do was just fill in the gaps. People like Eric and Audrey, Topazio, really just great people that want to take care of our members, and all we had to do was just sit down for a few weeks and make sure that everything was locked in terms of the systems that we had in place. So staffing, so important to us, because at the end of the day, yes, we're gonna coach you, but the only way we're gonna hold you accountable is if you know that we care about you.
Right, and I think like now I'll bring myself into it a little bit. So everyone's like, you didn't have to lose this amount of weight, John, and all this, or they're complimentary. Notice I started with the negative first.
Yep.
But so when I started, I didn't really know where to go, right? Like I didn't really have any goals. I think it's funny because Topaz would probably remember better than me, but I think my goal was like maybe 15 pounds.
I remember
something like that,
yeah,
right?
It was something like that.
It was something like that, 15 pounds. And then after 15, it was like, okay, maybe another 15.
Maybe.
Just keep going. I'm at 55 pounds now that I've lost. And now I'm getting, you're not going to lose any more weight, are you? Or I'm getting, you look great, right? But I can honestly say because of your staff, and when I say your staff, you included, because you guys care. You honestly give a shit. You really do. You care. And it's funny because I belong to other gyms, and what you often get is like, you're arching your back, or something like that. And that's not going to make me come back. It's not. And you coming back tomorrow? Not going to get me to come back tomorrow. But when am I going to see you next? That's going to get me to come back. I got a text message. I still have it saved on my phone from Julian after 2 weeks, complimenting me on. And by the way, I know that this is not an anomaly. I know that you do this to members after 2 weeks, but just like, good job. And that was very motivating. And it doesn't stop at the 2 weeks. It just keeps going. It happened today. like I worked out this morning, and I got a good job from Julian. I got a good job from Eric. I get apologies from you when you're correcting my form, because if you do it more than once, you're like, sorry, I don't mean to rag out. No, thank you. You know, it's always good-natured. Everything is, and there's always two trainers on the floor, whether you're one person or 20 people on the floor. And that's why I lost 55 pounds. And anytime I say that to one of you guys, you're like, no, you did it. No, honestly, the mindset was created by you guys. Yes, I did the work, but the mindset was you guys. So if anyone asks how I lost weight, or how I got motivated, or why I'm a gym rat now, or how the hell I get out of bed at 6:30 in the morning, it's you guys. And like I think that you guys have really formed a very nice community.
Thank you.
Because of that. Because everyone's belonged to a gym, and you have a gym background.
Sure.
And you get what you put into it, right? So like
Yeah.
if you have a gym where it's just like, when are you coming back? Or not even saying anything, and you just work out and it's like, see ya. Which honestly, most of the gyms have that. You have
Sure.
a rotating staff of people at the front. It doesn't matter if you come to the gym, because no one cares if you're there. And the biggest thing about going to the gym is self-motivation. So if you're in a warm environment, it's just more conducive to working out. So that's a long, convoluted thank you.
And no problem. I'm happy. And you know, you touched on something that was interesting there. When we do have our members thank us, we've done training with the staff to make sure that we do say the right thing. And the right thing is that it isn't us and it is you. Because the thing is, if we allow people to think that it's us, then that means if there's ever a time in their life where, God forbid, something happens, something just awful happens, and then maybe there's a relapse of some not so sensible behavior, we want people to know that they can do it again. It comes from them. They don't have to be reliant on us, you know, because fitness is a lifestyle, and we're here to try and get people healthy. I mean, that's why we started a gym. I would have done a call center if I didn't care.
Mm-hmm.
You know, those are profitable, right? I like gyms. I like helping people. I like getting people to where they need to be, to where they see themselves, you know. That's important.
This is your first gym that you owned?
This is my first gym that I own, yes.
Okay. And you're opening another UBX in Greenwich. You kind of buried the lead a little bit. You're opening another UBX.
We're opening another UBX.
So what makes you, after, I'm sure like owning a gym is like, what makes you be like, oh, let's do it again?
It's the people.
Yeah.
It really is. It's the people that, I mean, I've been in so many different gyms, from luxury to budget gyms, to boutique, to strength training gyms, powerlifting gyms. Man, it is really the people that are the saving grace. I've had managers that maybe didn't have the best leadership ability for me. I've had mentors that were amazing and brought me to the next level. But no matter what, all of that comes down from the members. You know, it's really just seeing somebody transform their life. And I remember that when I was a trainer, when I was like 17 years old, I shouldn't have even been a trainer, but they hired me. They needed somebody. And I had this one client, and she was awesome. She listened to everything I said. I don't know why, but she did. And she followed the meal plan that I had for her, which was super basic. It was like chicken and broccoli and rice. Okay, wasn't fun. And it was 3.5, 4 months, and she got back to a weight that she hasn't been in like 20 years. It was like 20 years or something like that. And to this day, she still likes my post on Instagram. She'll still DM me. The impact that I had on her life, I can't duplicate that anywhere but fitness, you know? I can't get that anywhere else. And so what I learned is, by just making sure that we're taking care of people and creating teams that take care of people, I can expand that reach. So I look at UBX and I'm like, okay, well, you know, we have 200 plus people that hopefully we're doing the best that we possibly can for them. And they're reciprocating they're staying, they're enjoying it, they're leaving us very positive feedback. Why aren't we doing this more? Let's get another one out there. I see Greenwich, and of course it's a nice area, but more importantly, it's 20 minutes away.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, I can still take care of my Larchmont people. I can still take care of my Larchmont team. And like we were talking about before, the team is really what makes the experience.
The thing that I like also, just going to your point, is because everyone is on social media, obviously. I have my own business, so I know, right? But what's really cool is you have the community in the gym, and then you have the community on Instagram, where you see members actually supporting. So if you get like 100, the card for 100th workout or 200 or whatever, or a weigh-in or whatever, it's cool to see the members just liking and commenting on that. So that's got to feel good for you guys too, right?
It does. And the milestone cards are something that, especially in boutique fitness, it's very important in boutique fitness, because the more often you can get somebody to come, the much more likely they are to build a routine. Okay? So by doing it's celebrating 25 visits, 50, 100. Some people do every 10 visits, or whatever it may be. But celebrating those small wins are what our population needs. For a lot of people, fitness is not a routine, So we have to get those milestones in. So when we see people commenting, the community supporting other people that maybe, like, we get some people that come at night, they don't even know these morning people, and they're just like, oh my God, good job. And that's what we like to see. And we really run our business, like marketing wise, as well as our social media, as if it's a real personality. And we do that because we want to connect with our people. We want to connect. We don't want to be just a corporate bland, whatever nonsensical brand.
Right.
We want you to know, like, there's some real people behind this, and that's important.
So where do you see you and UBX going?
Oh, it's such a journey. So I could see quite a few directions. My anticipation and what I came into UBX wanting to do is I want to have UBXs across the East Coast. Whether that's 20, whether that's 30. When I was, back in Edge Fitness, which is a very large, like 45,000 square foot, beautiful facilities. I was in New Jersey. They moved me out to the Midwest. I was opening up markets in Chicago and St. Louis and helping them in Michigan. And I had a team of over 200 trainers that I oversaw, 11 fitness managers, and I remember those days as being the most fulfilling days. Being able to really invest in so many people at once, being able to impact, of course, the members, but at that point I was also impacting these team members, helping them make more money for the right reasons. That was important to me. So being able to go and take an organization, propel it to such a level that I know that I'll be able to really make decisions that will impact positively for the team as well as the members. Oh my God, that's where I want to be.
Just last question. What were you like as a kid? I'm just curious, because like I was always like a heavy kid, and I feel like weight has always been a thing my whole life. Like at one point in my life, I lost almost 100 pounds, and I gained some of it back, and then I already shared my story about UBX, but like, what were you like? Like, were
John,
you always like a gym nut?
No, we were the same. We were the same. Yeah, I was a chunky monkey, right?
Okay.
I would say, 12 years old and maybe close to 200, something like that.
Okay.
I was chunky. I was chunky.
Okay.
I had a high-pitched voice, which did not help. But I will tell you this: the chunkiness, it helps you be funny.
True.
It helps you roll with the punches.
That was a funny kid.
That was a funny kid. So I think we had a very similar. I didn't have. I will say this: I didn't have a phase where like because I didn't have 100 pounds to lose.
Right.
I got into high school, met a friend. My friend really he pushed me to say, "Hey, let's go to the gym, man. Like let's do something like that." His name was Jordan. We're no longer friends at the level that we were, but Jordan really did something for me. He pushed me. He got me into the gym. He got me to join Harbor Fitness in Mill Basin over in Brooklyn. It used to be an old Gold's gym. It was $60 a month, and my mom paid for it, and I went. And I would do a smoothie after every workout.
Nice.
And we were eating like roast beef and chicken breast, and I lost close to 50, 60 pounds.
Wow.
You know, I didn't look good. I looked like skeletal,
Yeah.
you know, but
Yeah.
for me, that was such a big achievement. I've never been lean, you know. I grew up chunky.
I didn't join a gym or work out really regularly until I was 25.
Yeah, 25. I remember you said that.
Yeah.
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 But fitness isn't necessarily a gym, though, right?
Yeah, but like literally on a regular basis to not work out at all.
Okay.
Pretty crazy.
Okay.
And the motivating factor was when I was the size 42 waists were getting too big on me.
Mm.
That was the first time that I like went and lost all the weight or whatever.
That's the first 100.
That was the first. Yeah.
Yeah.
Way back.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah,
It's
crazy.
It's tough, man, because I mean, you're probably similar to me. Tell me if you're not. We like food. Tastes good, you know.
It's also like I think there's times where you eat out of boredom.
Of course.
And there's times where like you're social eating.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it's I mean, I also grew up at a home where like food meant love and eating meant like love and here, eat this. Blah, 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 blah.
Absolutely.
Nothing against my parents. I love them, and there was nothing in moderation. It was just like eat whatever you want. So,
John, you're Jewish, right?
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
Growing up, it was always we went to my grandma's house on
Yeah.
Shabbat. We couldn't leave without a clean plate.
Yeah.
Could not leave.
Yeah.
You
It
know?
was just like my dad is. It's funny. Like I always said that I wanted to write a book called My Father, the Jewish Mother, because my dad would push
Yep.
food all the time. Well, I'm not going to eat this. He still does it. I'm probably going to go out for dinner with him later. And like he'll eat something and be like, before he even eats something, like if he gets something to eat, I'll already have some of his food on my plate.
To try it, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just that like I grew up in the house where it's like, okay, we're ordering pizza. What do you want? And I'd be like, I want a calzone. I want this.
Of
I want
course.
that.
And you didn't
No
get the
limits.
no. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No limits.
No limits. Right.
No limits.
Yep.
So that's the house I grew up in. And like I just had this epiphany at 25 where it was like, oh, I need limits. I should probably have limits. And now it's funny. Now I'm just like, yeah, it's okay to have limits.
Yeah.
Like I'm okay.
That's okay.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
Right.
Or like, wow, it's okay to like eat a little bit
Mm.
if I'm working out tomorrow. So, complete lifestyle change.
And it was tough too. I mean, at least, you know, for me,
Yeah.
going into the end of high school, when I was losing this weight and I realized that I need limits,
Yeah.
I realized that I have to work out and this is it. You know, a lot of my social interactions were around food.
Mm-hmm.
Those ended up being cut off and I lost a lot of friends. Not in a negative way. It's just I
Right.
wasn't doing as much.
Yeah.
I wasn't interacting. I wasn't seeing. There was things happening, and I wasn't part of those conversations anymore. And it was a tough thing. And, you know, what I try and make sure of now is that, yes, we create meal plans. Yeah, we create diets for people if they want that. That's no problem. I think guidance is okay. And I think staying within some lines and limits are okay. But for us, it's really like, hey, let's put on paper what we know will work. And then let's just do our best around those limits.
Right.
Don't say no to a party. Don't not have birthday cake at your son's party. Don't not have a slice of pizza, you know?
Right.
That's an important thing. You have to be able to have balance. The limits come in place, just like you said. It's such a smart thing. It's okay to have limits. But you can go out to a restaurant and not order 2 entrees like I used to do, you know? You don't have to get the appetizer, the entree,
Right.
the 2 desserts.
Right.
Try a little
Oh
bit.
man,
you know?
that was like the norm. Like
I know,
that was the
man.
norm, and I'm like, oh my god, like, And it's funny because even before I started UBox, I wasn't doing that. It was definitely moderation. Like I was still like, going to a pizza place and having 2 slices. Now I go to a pizza place and I'll have 1.
But you had the trainer, right? But before,
But I just was not going regularly.
you were just not going regularly.
She was awesome. I would recommend her to anyone,
Yeah.
But it's just a timing thing.
Maybe we could hire her. Maybe we could hire her. She's that good. Let's bring her on.
No, I mean, she's great. She's awesome. And I recommend her to a lot of people. But but the flexibility is everything. And there is also something to be said about just not being pushy and being kind and just being welcoming and not being overly, on top. It's just the right amount, whether it's Audrey or Eric or Julian or Cheetah or you or Topaz. It's just, you all are different, but you're all the same in a way of just not being up in your face when you're working out and you're trying to navigate it. Because I am the last person to say that I know what the hell I'm doing in there. I don't. I'm still learning. Am I better than I was? Oh my God, yeah.
Hell yeah.
I mean, I could do freaking box jumps. Are you kidding? At higher levels, thanks to you.
Levels.
But I mean, yeah, my form still needs work. I still live inside my head. I'm still, starting in my mind. So it's awesome to have you guys.
I appreciate that.
And I like all your styles are different. It's awesome.
Yep.
I love like Cheetah being a little rough around the edges. Like I need that. You need that. I love Julian being warm, and Audrey's like got her stuff, and Eric, and whoever you hire in the future is going to be the same but different, and it's going to work. So, and I'm saying that because if someone's watching this 5 years from now and they're like, "Who the hell is that person?" It's just I feel like because you have the blueprint, it doesn't matter. It obviously the coaching matters, but it's the mindset.
Yeah.
So,
and it's interesting too because we used to personal trainers are it's a hard profession. It's hard because you have to build the book, and this is not in our gym because we're different. We have coaching hours.
Yeah.
But personal trainers, you have to build a book. So I say this because I used to have many personal trainers, and when somebody left because they weren't earning the amount that they needed to, or things changed in their life, and we had to then transition clients over, the one thing that we would always say in my clubs was, "Hey, I know that this person meant a lot to you, but if you trusted us to put you with them in the first place, trust us one more time. We got somebody else that we think will be great for you." And that's the whole thing, I want to make sure that if I close my eyes at night, I know that people were taken care of in the facility, whether it's doing the bonus rounds, making sure that we're calling out people, that they're not getting their heart rate to where they need to go, making sure that if we are calling somebody out, we're not doing it in a way that's prejudiced, right? We're not doing it in a way that gets under their skin. Maybe that person had a really hard day. You know what I mean? We don't need to beat them up when they come in here. We just need to push them a little bit.
Yep.
And that's important. That's important to us. And the nice aspect of things, I think it's important to be nice, right? I always say this to the team. Whether it's a prospect or a member, just talk the same way that you would talk to your friends. You don't have to do the professional voice, right? Because I want people to feel that they can connect with us. And I think that's something that's proved viable and useful to us too. Making sure that we don't have like a fake facade.
Right.
Well,
I'll leave on this. Not once do I think that you guys are gimmicky in any way, shape, or form.
Let's go.
I believe everything that you guys have ever said. And I think that the whole be kind is like a meme at this point. A lot of people say it and they don't mean it and they put it on a sticker and whatever. But you guys literally, like, you practice what you preach. Like, I have never
Thank you.
once felt that you guys are nothing less than genuine. So
Thank you.
I'll leave you with that.
I appreciate that. If
Yeah.
we get people in the door, we know that's it. We just need you to come in, just see us.
Yeah.
That's
So
it.
I will say that UBox has worked for me. I'm living proof that it works. So if you want to work out with me, come work out with me.
And if you want to join and get results, come on down.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was the camera.
I don't know either.
I just looked at something.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
There's probably a camera there. Thanks, Jimmy.
Absolutely, John. Do I have to do like a sign off?
Nah, it's good.
Later, Westchester.
Fuck you, New York sports.